My name is Michael Holly, and together with my colleague Sandra Breccio, we will present our systematic literature review on virtual reality in small and medium-sized enterprises. The industry is currently in the middle of the fourth industrial revolution. By using promising technologies such as VR, companies can gain advantage over their competitors and optimize their product and process development. For SMEs, these challenges are even more difficult to face due to their generally limited resources. In 2012, consumer-ready VR technology started to boom, and as a result, many businesses have found plenty of benefits in using low-cost VR experiences. We focus in our work on academia to find out if the topic has already arrived there. To promote research and practice-oriented usages of VR in SMEs, we addressed 5 research questions. First, what is the current level of interest? What are typical use cases? What technologies have been used? What opportunities and benefits have been identified within the literature? And what limitation and challenges do SMEs face in the context of using VR experiences? For our study, we followed the PRISMA guidelines with the goal to identify relevant literature on immersive VR experiences in SMEs. For collecting the data, we used a specific query of the terms virtual reality and small-medium enterprise. After filtering and removing duplicates, we investigated 16 papers for the analysis. During the review process, many articles had to be excluded because of the non-unique abbreviation SME or when they only mentioned VR or SME very briefly. Also, articles that referred to VR as virtual words had to be sought out. The relatively low number of identified papers gives the impression that most SMEs do not publish articles in scientific journals or conferences.
First, we investigated the current level of interest in VR experiences. The chart indicates that the interest has still grown since 2013, yet having identified only 16 relevant papers, we see that the interest is still quite low. We base this on the fact that SMEs do normally not publish at academic platforms, they prefer other media, like podcasts or business-related magazines. Next, we identified use cases. As seen in the chart, the most frequently reported was product design. As mentioned previously, we are still at an early stage, what is reflected in the use cases, as many of them are unique within the literature and thus cannot be compared well. As shown in the chart, the most used technology are HMDs. We reason this trend with the high accessibility and the decreasing hardware prices. Unfortunately, only the authors of 4 papers have specified which headset they used. VR applications for product and facility design allow to see the final product or layout, to analyze drawbacks and optimize before realization. These apps reduce risks, save time and cost, allow early safety planning, and do not interfere with ongoing production. Additionally, quick prototyping and clarifying the vision for producer and customer have been reported benefits. VR training is believed to be more efficient than using traditional methods. Virtual training is also cost-effective, eliminates real-world hazards, allows training in a replica of the actual facility, and does not interrupt ongoing production. Another benefit is that the same scenarios can be repeated and are accessible from almost anywhere, allowing employees to train at home. VR marketing offers SMEs the opportunity to present users with a wider product range via customization. In addition, customers experience a real wow experience due to immersion, and companies with bulky products can easily present them at fairs by giving virtual tours. Moreover, general VR advantages such as the ability to visualize invisible phenomena, flexibility, real-time interaction, and decreasing HMD prices have been reported. Expensiveness was an issue SMEs had to deal with, whether it was related to expensive equipment when using Cave, the development of digital twins, or the data transformation process from CAD to VR data. Other issues have been the uncertainty factor of the investment and the fact that due to the rapid growth of VR, many big companies started to invest and thus competition increased. The transformation of CAD to VR data was a barrier due to restricted interaction and collaboration capabilities. Additionally, it was indicated that the lack of interfaces and standards was a limitation, as this meant that experts were required. Due to the low level of information about VR, the uncertainty of investment, and often the limited resources, SMEs had difficulties choosing the right VR system for their needs. The authors also reported some other general VR-related issues, like the fact that HMDs can break the sense of immersion, or that interchangeability between different hardware is still lacking in many VR engines.
Our analysis of the literature has shown that professionally used VR application in SMEs can find many application areas, should take advantage of the immersion effect of HMDs and other VR technologies, can reduce costs in the company, and should consider involving experts. Future work could benefit from including podcasts and magazine articles, not limiting the work to immersive VR, or having a look on the general use of VR in companies, not only focusing on SMEs. Many thanks for your attention, and we are looking forward for your feedback.